Hey, welcome back to the Pursuit of Value podcast. Today, we will discuss 5 common reasons why small businesses fail or struggle to grow. This is part 2. Last episode, we reviewed the business failure stats from our first video and went on to discuss reasons 1 and 2 why businesses fail or struggle to grow. If you missed that episode, please go back and watch it, listen to it, as it will provide value and give additional context. If you like this content, please subscribe and like the video. Okay, let's jump in. Reason number 3 why businesses fail or struggle to grow: ineffective marketing strategies. This includes lack of clear brand identity, inadequate online presence, and failure to adapt. Okay, lack of clear brand identity. What is that? Small businesses that fail to differentiate themselves from competitors struggle to attract and retain customers. You have to know and be able to articulate what sets your business apart from others. Here's a simple action step. Write down or create your company value proposition. Make sure everyone in your company knows this. You must have a consistent message internally and externally. What makes you different from the competition? You and your employees should be able to articulate the value proposition in 2 or 3 sentences. I highly recommend the book by Donald Miller called Story Brand. It is the best marketing book I've ever read and completely changed my paradigm on marketing. You must have a fundamental understanding of the problem your potential customers want to solve, and then you must communicate that you can solve it. There's a huge lack of branding in small business, and it's all about messaging. Most of the time, potential customers do not know you exist, and if they do know you exist, can they articulate what you do? It's super important. Okay, next, inadequate online presence. With the digital landscape becoming increasingly vital for business success, neglecting online marketing channels can hinder growth prospects. One of the first things people do if they are interested in a company is check out the website and/or social media. 27% of small businesses do not have a website. The ones that do have a website do not update them frequently. If you do not have one, you should. And if you do have one, take advantage of it, keep it up to date, and allow it to be the main source of communication to your customers and community. Utilize social media to communicate with your target audience. Remember, this is all about branding and establishing your company's identity in the minds of your target audience. You want to be the one writing this narrative, not an old, outdated website. Whether you like it or not, what you say or don't say will determine what your customers think. So it's super important to articulate what your company is all about. Do not leave it up to interpretation. You drive your identity. All right, simple action step. If you do not have a website, create one. You can't afford not to. Scrub it each quarter to make continual improvements. You have around 8 seconds to capture someone's attention, so you need to have a good website. Take advantage of social media. All right, the last one, failure to adapt. The inability to adapt to evolving marketing trends and consumer preferences results in stagnant growth and diminished market relevance. A very simple example, if you have a website, is it set up for mobile devices? There are 8.58 billion mobile device subscriptions in the world today. Your business needs to be relevant to this. Simple action step, is your website mobile device friendly? If it's not, then this needs to change as soon as possible. I mean, how many times have you tried to pull up a website on your phone and it's not set up for the phone and you just can't read it? And it's frustrating, and it really shows poorly on the business that they didn't have the foresight to make that change or to make it mobile device friendly. Many small companies have a website and they think that they're doing well with it. And in actuality, they're not, because it's not effective. Let's summarize. Reason number 3, ineffective marketing strategies: lack of clear brand identity, inadequate online presence, and then failure to adapt. Okay, reason number 4 why businesses fail or struggle to grow: operational inefficiencies. This includes inadequate systems and processes, poor resource allocation, and lack of scalability. Okay, what is inadequate systems and processes? Without efficient operational systems in place, small businesses face challenges in scaling and meeting customer demands. This is why most businesses don't scale beyond a certain point. They lack an internal infrastructure to support growth. Think of this as the foundation to build upon. Without a foundation, you can't build anything that will last. Your business will be limited by the quality of the systems you implement. Here's a simple action step. Start simple, analyze one department in your business. It could be accounting or sales. Do you have detailed documented processes set up? Are those processes repeatable and trainable? If you need to create a process, create it with the mindset that it will be repeatable and used to train others. This process should be independent of a person. Keep it simple and start with one. All right. One of the things I noticed all the time in small businesses is that companies will get to a certain level, like it's hard to break through $1 million, then maybe 3 million, 5 million, and then 10 million seems to be a really tough ceiling. Most of the time, it's because of this. They don't understand how to develop processes to scale. When you're doing $5 to $10 million in business, that's a lot of volume. And it takes good, solid processes to repeat that volume well and to be efficient. All right. Next, poor resource allocation. Misallocating human, financial, or technological resources can impede growth and hinder productivity. This is all about efficiency and doing well with what you have. Are you currently getting the most out of your resources? Even if you have very little resources, are you getting the most out of them? One example I see all the time is simply having roles and responsibilities detailed out for your employees. By having set roles and responsibilities, you set your employees up for success and are utilizing your human resources more fully. An employee that has a vague job description and unclear responsibilities is not being efficient and set up for success. Simple action step. Create roles and responsibilities for your employees. This sets the expectation for your employee and will set them up for success. Okay, this is super important. If you value your employees, set them up for success. Allow them to know what they're responsible for each day. What is their role? What is their responsibility? You'd be surprised how many people don't do this. And when you question employees, like so many times I've gone in as a consultant and started talking to the employees because that's the first thing I do. I want to get a feel for the culture. And more often than not, employees will not be able to articulate their role and what they're supposed to do each day. It's kind of a mind bender, honestly. Lastly, lack of scalability. Failure to plan for scalability from the outset can constrain growth potential and limit expansion opportunities. Anything you do in your business should be designed to scale, period, from one to many, whether it be creating a warranty process or developing a policy manual. Everything should be designed to scale. When you scale your company, there's more of everything. Now, really think about this. If you go from 500K in revenue to 10 million in revenue, that's a big jump. There's more of everything. Does your business have the internal infrastructure to support more? You might think you do, but do you? There's going to be more emails, more estimates, more sales, more communications, more paperwork, more decisions. Amazon was not the first online store. It was actually books.com in 1992, but Amazon scaled it better and faster, and the rest is history in terms of that company. Now, oftentimes, one of the first things that doesn't scale well in a company is communication. What is the communication landscape in your company? If there's more communication, more emails, more everything, is your company set up for more communication? Oftentimes, that's a no. Here's a simple action step. See the previous two action steps. Analyze and create processes as needed. Create roles and responsibilities for your employees so they have clarity and they have purpose. All right. Let's summarize reason number 4, why businesses fail or struggle to grow. Operational inefficiencies, that included inadequate systems and processes, poor resource allocation, and lack of scalability. All right, reason number 5, the last one, why businesses fail or struggle to grow. This may be the most important and the most convicting, and I'll probably get the most comments on this one. Leadership and management issues. This includes weak leadership skills, ineffective decision-making, and failure to build a competent team. All right, weak leadership skills. Ineffective leadership can lead to poor decision-making, lack of direction, and internal discord within a small business. It's naive to think that you have great leadership skills just because you were the owner and started a business. One thing I've noticed over the years in business is that the company will always reflect the leader, you. To say it in a different way, the company will take on the personality of the leader. This makes sense. The leader sets the tone and will set the culture. And as I'm saying this is convicting to me. I've been around leaders who are complainers. Well, guess what? There's a culture of complaining in that company. If you as a leader are always stressed and under pressure, then your company culture will reflect this. Company culture is very delicate and can be thrown off by one person or by one incident. This is why, as an owner, if you want to grow and are struggling to do so, you must look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. Are you the choke point? Are you the problem? And are you the reason your business is functioning the way it is? Here's a simple action step. Your success will start with you, so get honest with yourself. Ask a trusted person what they see in your leadership. And there's going to be a tendency to want to blame shift and point the finger at employees, at customers, at the economy. There's always an excuse. Get away from that. Get honest with yourself and look in the mirror. Next, ineffective decision making. Small businesses that struggle to make timely and informed decisions may miss out on growth opportunities or make costly mistakes. When I started my first business, I was so scared to make a decision. I struggled with it. I'll never forget, and it was the winter of 2005. I was sitting in my truck, scared to make a simple decision. It was such a simple decision to make. It was gnawing at me, but I was so fearful. In that moment, I realized that this issue would hinder me for the rest of my life. I was paralyzed. I needed to jump, and I did. That one moment provided me with a tremendous amount of freedom. It also helped me to fear regret more than failure. Not making a decision is choosing to do nothing. It gave me confidence to build upon. Since then, I've learned to weigh the options, think through the outcomes, and then pull the trigger. Now it's one of my best skill sets, and I'm very decisive. Here's a simple action step. Write down what decisions you struggle with. Is it HR? Is it finance related? Or maybe it's the human component. You struggle with some decisions because you fear conflict. Whatever it is, write it down. This will give you clarity, then choose to fix it. And I got to be honest with this. Many business owners will gravitate towards comfort rather than conflict. And you as the business owner set that tone. If you need help in conflict resolution or just facing hard decisions, man, you got to seek help on this because it will hinder your growth and it will affect your employees. And it's going to create a cascading effect throughout your company. All right. Lastly, a failure to build a competent team. Without a skilled and motivated team, small businesses find it challenging to innovate, adapt, and execute growth strategies effectively. I will keep this simple. If you're the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room, period. Having strong and capable people around you will only make you better. Do not fear this. Embrace it. Don't be insecure about this. Here's a simple action step. Ask yourself if you have a competent team. Do they complement each other? Think strategically about this. Does your team reflect your core values and provide an opportunity for success? Or is it just not really a team at all? I highly recommend implementing DISC personality assessments for your team. Knowing how to utilize your team's natural personality tendencies will make a huge difference in the performance of your team, and it will help you all get along better and you will complement each other. You'll need to be honest with yourself and then choose to make some good changes. There's many business owners that don't like competition, that don't like to be challenged, and don't like to change. And that has to change. If you want to better yourself and better your business, you have to embrace the uncomfortable. All right, let's summarize. Reason number 5, leadership and management issues. This includes weak leadership skills, ineffective decision-making, and failure to build a competent team. So, how do you apply what we discussed today? I highly recommend that you take the action steps on each of the previous items. If you do, I promise you, you will gain clarity about your business on so many different levels. You will gain clarity about yourself, and that's what's most important. And you will learn what you need to do to make improvements that will lead to greater success. It's so easy to be too busy. I encourage you to slow down, reflect on how you can run a better business. I also encourage you to lean into the uncomfortable because this will be uncomfortable. It will bless you and your employees. Reflect on how you lead and write down areas you need to improve upon. Seek help. This will be hard and require humility, but it will be good for you. Commit to making some changes and put a plan in place to get better. Remember, if you expect others to lead well, then you need to set the precedent. Okay, let's recap the 5 most common reasons why businesses fail or struggle to grow. In part 1, we discussed lack of market understanding, poor financial management, and today we discussed ineffective marketing strategies, operational inefficiencies, and leadership and management issues. This list is not exhaustive, and we could actually dive deep into each one, and we probably will in later episodes dive deeper into each one. Small businesses face a ton of challenges to survive and to grow. By addressing these common pitfalls head on and implementing proactive strategies, you, as the business owner, can position yourself for sustainable growth and long-term success. You have to commit to getting better. If this was helpful, please comment and offer suggestions on any other topics you would like to analyze. Next episode, we're going to discuss what it means to define value in your business. Thanks for listening. Thank you to Boost USA for sponsoring. And remember, running a business should not be so complex and stressful. Have a great day.